it's Charlotte back. I am so sorry I haven't been posting. I think like 2-3 weeks ago, but I've been at school and it's been like everything because we have lots of stuff. But to your surprise, guys, my bad, remember that book I wrote? Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of be explaining it to you because the book is here, but not really. It's not in my room. So we're gonna have to deal with that. But I'm gonna explain my book to you because now it's all done. There's not like a little session I had to talk about, but now it is done. So we're gonna go up from chapter 5 to chapter 6. Short summary, not really. It's probably gonna be like 15 minutes. But let's go. So chapter 1, let's go from there. We start with an extract. Yeah, no, I'll just say we start with a diary entry. And it's like from her in the future, so 16 years old. That's how old she is when she wrote that bit. And then once that's done, it's like my mom got me this new diary. I'm so happy that we're starting school, blah 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 blah, because I kind of wanted to get away from her, and then all that. And then under that, it's a little paragraph, and it's, my name is Venus. I was 16 years old when I died on something September 2016, so something September 2016. And yeah, and then I was like, I was 16 years old when I died, blah blah blah. Let's go back, let's start 2013 when my birthday, just before my new school. And then it's another diary entry, and that diary entry is, her younger self. She's more into it, she just turned 13, all that stuff. So it's like, I just moved from my Alexa just turned on. Okay. And so where was I? The diary extract is like, I can't remember. It's like, oh wait, sorry. Let's just start from where I was. So the diary is, she's like, I just moved from Paris to London, and it's my birthday, and we went to go see the London Eye, the London blah blah blah, and I'm starting my new school tomorrow. Okay. Then she puts her diary down, and it's the next day. She's getting ready for school, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then she gets on the bus, and everyone's staring at her because, like, who are you? We don't know you. Like, are you new? Because, like, she sits at the closest seat, and then a girl walks into the bus, and all the attention away from her, just to that girl. So the main girl, her name's Venus. Venus is like, oh my gosh, who is this? She must be popular because, like, everyone's looking at her. They must all love her, And then the girl that walked in, her name's Bella. Bella's like, oh, so you're new? And sits next to her. And she's like, Venus is like, yeah, I'm new. And then Bella goes, well, what's your name? We can be buddies and all that stuff. And Venus is like, yeah, sure, yeah, my name is Venus. And Bella's like the planets. Oh no, so Bella's like, my name's Bella. Your name, it's like the planet. And then Venus goes, yeah, sorry, I'm using But Venus goes, yeah, my mom was into Greek mythology, and when I was born, she thought I was like the most beautiful thing, because like as mothers do, hopefully. And then she was like, so she thought of me as like Aphrodite. So she was like, you know what? I'll call you Venus, because like she's not gonna call her Aphrodite, because Venus is Aphrodite. You get it. If you know Greek mythology, you get it. Anyways, so she does that. Well, so she says that, but then she like talks for like until they arrive at school, and then when they arrive, Bella's done. She's like, this girl talks a lot. I'm not sure I can handle this. And Bella goes, thank you, and I'm just gonna go. And Venus stops her and she's like, girl, I saw my class list, and I saw a girl named Bella on there. I don't know if it's you, but like, can you show me? Because I'm sure it's you. I know it's you. And then Venus is like, you know what? Sure. She shows her around, takes her to the class, by the end of the day, they're buddy. And at that lunch, they're talking, and no one sits at their table. Venus thinks it's a little weird, if you're popular and you have lots of friends, so lots of people sit with you. But, she doesn't think too much of it. And then, Bella, goes up to what she calls the nerd table. And she dumps food on them. And that's when Venus realizes, oh wait, this girl is not popular. She's a bully. No one wanted to sit next to her on the bus. No one wanted to sit next to the bus. Not because she was popular and they were waiting for her friends, but because she was a bully. So she realized she's a bully. But she's her own friend. Like, she's not gonna become a bully. She's not gonna become a bully like Bella. She's just, gonna be friends with her. So by the end of the week, everyone's like dead afraid of Venus, because like, why is she hanging out with the bullies? Well, then obviously she's gonna be a bully. And then the next week, a girl comes up to their lunch table, and Venus is like, whoa, this girl must be brave. And she tells Bella that she's been bullying my brother, and that it's crazy. Like, you make my brother hate himself. Like, And then they stop. And then Bella's like, well, maybe he needs to hate himself. He shouldn't have been born. And then Venus and the girl are like, sure, like, girl didn't say that. Venus didn't act, but the girl did. They started fighting on the ground, and Venus, she wasn't just gonna let this happen. She went up to the closest teacher and she was like, girl, you need to sort this out. And they did. Then the girl and Bella get taken to the office, and Bella's like, oh yeah, she attacked me first. And the girl's like, well, everyone's been bullying her, and that her friend Venus, she's not doing anything about it. So then Venus gets called to the office, and Venus is like, whoa, what did I do? Like, I didn't do nothing. And she gets like really crossed. And then she gets to the office, and they were and she was like, but I didn't really do anything, like, but the principal's like, exactly. You should be standing up for the people that are being bullied. And she's like, okay, sure, that like hit her a little hard there. So then the rest of the day, Bella ignores Venus. Her reason being that Venus was trying to get Bella in trouble by calling the teacher. Venus thought this was crazy, but she was kind of sad because that's her friend, her only friend at that school. So then about a month later, Venus comes up and sit next to, Bella comes up and sit next to Venus on the bus, and just acts like nothing happened, like she didn't ignore her for a month. But Venus doesn't say anything because, oh well, you know what? Who cares? That's pretty much a summary of chapter 1. That I talked for long there. I'm gonna have to cut this video so long. Oh well. Chapter 2. So Bella. So it's the end of school, and Bella is coming to Venus's house for about a week because her parents are on a getaway trip, as Bella calls it. Venus just calls it, she's going away, she's getting like a nice trip, a nice tan. And they don't need Bella there because, that's just gonna be. But she doesn't say anything. She says, well, Venus is sound cooler. About 2 hours in, they fight. Because her little brother, like 3 years younger than her, is trying to flirt with Bella. And then, what's her name? Venus goes, get away from us. And he leaves. But Bella's like, girl, there was no need for that. Because, like, he was just being nice. And, sorry, I'm getting cold. And Venus is like, are you stupid? He was trying to get with you. Well, not really, but, he's, And Venus is like, Bella's like, ugh. And then they fight. Venus goes upstairs in her room. And she's like, why am I getting mad about this? Like, this isn't something I would usually get mad about. Like, you would have to really piss me off to get me mad about this. So I don't know what's happening here, but this is not normal me. But otherwise, she stays mad. She stays mad. And then, eventually, they go up to each other. They don't talk. And they go to bed. And then, the next day, Bella wrote in her diary. I'm getting the names mixed up. Venus writes in her diary while Bella is sleeping. And then she just, scrolls, on Facebook, because this took place when Facebook was still, in. And then Bella wakes up. And she acts like nothing's happening, but Venus isn't gonna stand with this. She's like, just leave me alone for a little bit. Or do you need my attention? And, that just, pisses Bella off. But Venus goes downstairs and she naps. Because she's been awake since 3 o'clock, my bad. And then when she wakes up, she finds out that Venus has left, has called her granny, and she's like, come pick me up. Yeah. Obviously, it's longer than that. I think that's the summary of chapter 2. Yeah. I can't really remember chapter 3, and it's annoying me. Hey, I remember now. Chapter 3. School is back. They go to school. Venus goes there and she's like, whoa, everyone is staring at me right now. And then she sees Bella at the end of the hallway. And she's, like, to someone. And she's like, and Venus is like, something is going on. And then she goes up to Bella and she's like, what are you doing? And Bella's like, nothing. What are you talking about? And obviously they're not friends anymore, No. Venus is not letting that slide again. And so Venus is like, well, there's definitely something. And just before she goes to class, some girls pull her aside. She's like, whoa, what's up? And they beat her up and bully her and call her names and all that, all the bullying type. And that goes on for forever. Until school closes. Oh, and just before school closes, she finds out why they've been bullying her. Because apparently Venus, took a photo of her house, made it look trashed, run down, like she was poor. Because her house wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. So she just made it look worse and made it look messy and like rats and like maggots and like all that stuff. And everyone believed her. So she made Photoshop photos and just showed everyone. She's like, oh my goodness, look at this picture right now. And she's like, wow, why are you setting this up? And then she just gets bullied. And then summer break happens. And she's like, oh, finally, I need a break. But the girls lived right around the street. So when she went out to play, they dragged her to a little side alley she had by her house, and they hit her head. So like this was kind of like bleeding down, and she passed out. Yeah. And she didn't see Bella for like, she hadn't been speaking to Bella for like a year from that. So Bella just, wanted them to make fun of her. So Bella arrived and shoot them off, and she's like, okay, wait. When I made the rumor, I was childless and all that stuff. I just wanted them to call her names. But beating her up like this, whoa, 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 whoa. And so Bella is like, okay, I'm gonna help you get rid of these. I'm sorry for everything. You don't have to forgive me. You don't have to trust me. But I'm showing them off. So for a month, she gets rid of the bullies. And Bella is like, oh, I forgot to add something. Before all of this, her dad dies in a car accident. Yeah, you just needed to know that. But back to where Bella was shooting off. The damage had already been done. She's already been bullied for like a year. And she's tired of it. She's tired of life. She's sad. Her dad's dead. She's starving herself. All that. Then chapter 4. No, chapter 3 and chapter 4. That was like chapter 3 and chapter 4. I just told you. Now it's chapter 5. Oh, wait. Sorry, my bad. Just in chapter 4, Bella, I was like, she's like noticing these things. She's like, what? You good? Are you good? And Venus was like, yeah, don't worry, I am fine. Yeah. So Venus, this is chapter 5. Venus is kind of like, she's had enough. This is her last day. She got a new diary. She's writing in it. Yeah. And then she goes, sits on the table, on her desk, my bad. So their book title's 10 minutes. So she sets an alarm for 10 minutes. For the first 2 minutes, for the first 1 minute, she cleans her room, because her mom always liked her clean room. Then there's 9 minutes. Then she does the rest. Well, then she, I can't remember, but then that's 8 minutes. And then she writes letters to her mom, her granny, all of those, Bella. That takes 4 minutes. Then she goes say goodbye to her mom and brother. That takes 1 minute, 2 minutes. So there's 2 minutes. No, that takes 1 minute. So there's 3 minutes left. And then she messages her friends and faraway families. Takes 2 minutes. So there's 1 minute left. She grabs the chair, ties the noose, and then the timer goes off. But she didn't hear it. It was dead silent. She couldn't even hear her breathing. but maybe that's because she wasn't breathing at all. So much can happen in 10 minutes. And that is pretty much the summary of chapter 5. Now chapter 6. When Bella gets that message, he's like, oh my gosh, I know what she's doing. And she runs to the house and she's like, oh, girl, when she finds her mom and she's like, I'm sorry, but you need to go check on Bella, like, right now. And she explains, like, there's a little boom, 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 boom. And they go up to her room. They open the door. She's already gone. Her cold body is already, she's gone. So Bella's like, oh. They take her down and they leave her. Like, they don't go back in that room. They obviously, the ambulance comes. They take her body. But they just leave that room how it is. And then her mom comes to clean the room a month later. And she finds the letters and the diary. And she's like, should have noticed this. She sent out the letters. And then for the last, like, 3 pages, it's just the letters. And then the end-liners. So much can happen in 10 minutes. Yeah. It took so long. But now for school, we have to set up a table for our book because, you know, this is a school thing. So I got a rope and I tied a noose. And that's done. I have a poster of the book cover. And then I have chocolates, just, you know, so they like come to my table and they're like, oh. Yeah. I have my Converse because in the poster, in the front cover, is a bunch of letters, and then a Converse at the top. So you know, if you get it, you get it. And then the 10 minutes. That's my book and my table. Yeah. But I'm just happy I got this done. I love it. I love my books so much. Bye, you guys.